So in this video, you want to start your own independent label. You got some money, or maybe you don't, but you don't want to deal with the politics or the hassle of trying to convince or prove to another label that you're worthy of signing. So you're like, I'm taking matters in my own hand. I'm going to watch this course. I'm going to read this book. I'm going to listen to people like Wendy, and I'm going to really understand how to do this on my own so I can own my masters, own my publishing, make my own decisions, then even scale and maybe sign other artists and really go on and build a flourishing independent label. There's nobody that knows more about building an independent label, has more experience, and has helped those build independent labels than my friend Wendy Day. I wish we had an applause here. So let's just keep it moving. So if say I'm an artist and I'm in Boston and I think I'm dope and I want to start my own label, I don't want to go on this journey of trying to chase a major label. Look at everything, and here's another thing too, by the way, you guys. It's so easy to start your own now than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Everything that a major label would do for you, you can do yourself now. You can do your own distributing. You can get your own music synced. You can get your own merch created. You can get your own endorsement deals. Like literally everything is on the internet. You can do it yourself. So that's why it would behoove you to be an independent artist, because then if you do want to end up moving up to a major label, you have the leverage that Wendy talked about in our other videos. So what would be the first steps? If I come to you, I'm a guy from Boston, I'm a rapper, and I want to start my own independent label, what would be the infrastructure or the business that I need to put in place to make sure that I'm doing it right?
Well, the first two things you need are the know-how and some money, because this is not a free industry. Mm-hmm. So you're going to need to have money to record. You're going to need money to market and promote. You're going to need money to move around. You're going to need money to pay your bills while you're moving around. Mm-hmm. So you've got to have some investment, whether that's putting together a business plan and getting an investor to help you, or going to one of your childhood friends that has some money and saying, I need help, or whether you do a GoFundMe campaign or a Kickstarter campaign. You need to have some funding. Get a job, put your money into yourself. And
another quick, if I can interject real quick, another quick, easy way is if you really do think you have music that's that hot, then put it out on the streaming platforms and then troll the internet and promote like crazy, because you can
make money. Yes, absolutely. So there are ways that you can build the funding. And I always want to start with that, because most people, when they hear me speak about starting your own label, they hear me say you need money and they go, oh, I can't do that. You really can. I have clients that find investors. They don't think that they can. They somehow find them and they come to me with $250,000. So it does exist. It does happen. You can do it. You just have to figure out how.
There's also grants out there. There's grants.
There's grants. Yeah, especially in Canada. Oh my God. If you're Canadian, you're golden. Yeah. There's grants. There's a lot of ways to find funding. And it starts with you telling people around you that you're trying to build a label and you need money. When you put it out there, it does come back to you. I am living proof of that. So once you have a way to start finding the income, the money, the funding, you need to understand how to do this. If you learn how to do this and you learn the steps by taking courses, by watching videos like this exact video, by talking to people that are doing it, people that have come before you, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can really learn lessons from other people's success. Then and once failures. You do that, say it again.
And failures.
And failures. I learn more from people's failures than I do from their success. Right. It's just I learn what not to do. And so many people will tell you. They're very open about how they do this and what they do. So, there's clues. Success leaves clues. Pick them up. Mm-hmm. As you decide to start your label, you're going to want to set up a corporation. It can be an LLC or a corporation. Most of my clients set up LLCs. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to start a publishing company, because if you're an artist, you want to collect your publishing money. And I'm going to keep it very high level, because people watching this can then go and do the research into all these different things that I'm talking about.
Right. And by the way, when she says things like start an LLC, to some people, that seems overwhelming, or it seems expensive, or it seems really legal, and you don't understand it. If you don't understand how to do it, there's no secrets to success anymore. Everything's on the internet. Google how to start an LLC. It's very simple, and you can do it yourself.
Yes, yes. I set up all of my own corporations. I did not hire an attorney to set up any of my companies, and I've been doing this 28 years. Nothing's gone wrong. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to knock wood. I don't have to do any of that. Right. You can do this. You can do this yourself. And Google is absolutely your friend.
Right. So what did you mean by starting a publishing company?
When you set up, as soon as you write a lyric or you make a beat, you own the publishing. And the way that you collect money is you set up a publishing company. I don't want to come onto your video and tell people where to go, but I will say I use a company called Song Trust for my clients because they do 85 splits. They take no ownership, but they'll go and collect all of your publishing streams of income for you and then pay you so that you don't have to take that on as another job.
And it's called Song Trust?
Songtrust.com. They're owned by Downtown Publishing, which is one of the biggest publishers out here. They do Bruce Springsteen and a ton of, huge. They also own CD Baby. It's the same company that owns CD Baby. But the great thing about them is you sign up and they go and collect all the money for you without taking ownership. And I'm a big fan of everybody keeping their ownership.
So they handle the admin for you.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So you're going to start your publishing company, and then you're going to do the research, figure out what else you have to do, figure out how to copyright music, figure out how to sign up for either ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, sign up for Sound Exchange. There are just different things you need to do before you get started that will help collect the money for you. And then you choose a distributor, and that's not as hard or as scary as it may sound. There's TuneCore, there's DistroKid. If you want and the thing about TuneCore and DistroKid is it's a flat fee. So you're paying them somewhere between $30 and $50 in order to upload your music. And then they send you 100% of your income. Again, they take no ownership. You get to own everything 100%.
Right.
There's other distributors out here. There's Symphonic, there's STEM, there's CD Baby, there's, and I'm trying.
Foundation. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm trying to be real well-rounded because I don't want you to be, to choose one, people can go and do the research and find a distributor. And when you start out with a distributor, you want to get as close to an 80-20 split, meaning you get 80% of the money and they get 20% of the money. And then they go and collect the money for you. They make sure that you're on all the platforms, not just Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Tidal, and all the smaller DSPs, but they're going to make sure that they're collecting money for you from Instagram, from Facebook, from TikTok, from all of the different social media sites that are now paying artists for their music or are starting to pay artists for their music. And I'd like to say it's about time. Right. So after you get your distribution deal, then you can start putting music out into the marketplace. You have to make sure that it's mixed and mastered. You have to make sure.
Let's just, so set up an LLC, set up your publishing company, then determine how you're going to have your product and music distributed. So those are the first three things. Then you make your music. You have your product ready to go.
And by the way, the music has to be good. I always leave that out, but your music has to be great because there's so much music already in the marketplace that in order for you to stand out, it has to be highly marketable and it just has to be really great music. Mm-hmm. And that's not something that I can teach, right?
Right.
So once we
have those things. Now we have the product. Now what do we do?
Yes. Now we're going to, and this is where studying comes in because you need to learn how to market and how to promote. So if you start reading books on branding or marketing or promotion and sales, you're really gonna be a step ahead of everybody else. So now what you're gonna do is figure out how you want to get your music in front of people. And by the way, just like adding them on social media is not the best way to do that. you can do Google ads, you can do Facebook ads, you can do Instagram ads, you can market and promote in person, you can go to events in your community and perform, you can print download cards where you have links to all of your music and give that out at high schools and colleges. There's so many different ways to market and promote. You can put your name on a t-shirt and just always wear it, you know, have your whole team wear t-shirts with your name and your web address or your Instagram handle or whatever. But spread the music, you know, do contests on TikTok and Triller to spread the music there. There's so many different ways, you know, get familiar with Twitch, and that's an area that I'm just starting to tap into because there's fans there. Anywhere that you can go, either online or in the real world where people gather, is where you want to be marketing and promoting your music. And the way that I do it, Clinton, and I'm very open about it. I've been doing it 28 years, so I'm really open about how I do this. When I go into the real world to market or promote one of my clients, I figure out where they're from, and if the music sounds like where they're from, I take a map and I draw a 5-hour driving radius around that spot, and that becomes our target market. And we hit all of the high schools and colleges in that area. We hit all of the events, and it's very hard for me to give you general knowledge about this because it depends on who your fan base is.
Right.
And the way you would market somebody that's like a Justin Bieber type singer is very different than the way you would market like a rapper like Melly, who's super street, right? They're just two very different markets. So learn your market, and you can go into the dashboard on your on the streaming sites and on your social media to see exactly who is streaming your music, where they're from. Those are the people you want to hit. So if you're making really pop songs, you want to hit the suburbs. You want to hit young white kids from 8 years old to 26 years old. That's your market. If you're making more street music like a Melly or a trap artist, then you want to be in the hood and you want to hit fans from 13 to 25 years old that listen to street rap. You've got to learn your fan base. Once you learn your fan base, it makes it a lot easier to figure out how you're going to reach them.
A lot of Beckies from the suburbs really like to listen to that hood music nowadays.
They do, but you've got to start it in the hood. The one thing that Becky doesn't like is music that young people of color are not vibing to. She's never going to latch on to something that wasn't co-signed and blessed by the hood. So if you've got hood music, you've really got to start in the hood.
Right.
And then you grow out.
So here's another trick that, you know, I want you to touch on is we talked about on the other video about maybe signing to an independent or a major label, but now I'm an artist. I want to put my stuff out and build through my own independent label. By owning my own independent label and building that up in the artist that's on my label and the artist is me, that now when a major comes and wants to do a deal, now there's a level of protection. There's a level of leverage. And now you can, I'm like, nah, I don't want to sign, but you can do a deal with my label. And now, so talk about how like that protects the artist now, you as an artist, by doing a deal with your label instead.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm a big fan of this. So just understand my bias. Like, this is what I do for a living. I build artists to be at this level of success where they've got leverage. And the joy in that is if you're making $1 million a year on your own, and it's really not that hard to do that, but if you're making $1 million on your own, when a label comes to sign you, they can't just offer you a $200,000 deal because you're already making $1 million. So the deal offer is going to start somewhere at $2, $3, $4 million because they're going to have to give you enough money to balance out what they're trying to take from you in terms of the split. And instead of giving you just an artist deal, as you just said, you may be able to get a label deal. So you can sign to a label and bring the artists that are coming up under you to that label. You don't necessarily have to do that. You may want to do a joint venture with this label just for yourself and then put your artists at other labels and see who's the best. What it does.
What that means to people. What that means is, if I own a label, I'm Clinton the artist, and I say I have Clinton Records, right?
Right.
So instead of signing my whole label over to them, I can do it. And so they want to sign Clinton the artist, but you have to come through Clinton the label to get to Clinton the artist, because Clinton the artist is signed to Clinton the label already. So now Interscope wants to sign Clinton the artist. They have to come through Clinton the label. So now Clinton the label is going to do, like she said, maybe a joint venture through my label. So now I have more leverage and more control because it's coming through another label. And then on top of that, what that does now is it amplifies brand awareness and credibility of Clinton the label. So when other people want to sign to that label, I'm not strictly prohibited to only to put them out through Interscope now.
Exactly.
They're on my label, and now I can go do a deal with my label with another label in that artist. So
exactly.
So it's advantageous for you to, if you're an independent artist, instead of being a rogue soldier out here just throwing music everywhere and just hoping somebody picks you up, it's set up your own business and your own structure. Become your own business. You are a brand.
You are a brand.
Like a brand. Treat yourself like a legitimate, like that you can go public as a stock one day. Like treat yourself like that. Like that's what you're right. So when you start your label, that's your business, and your brand is the first product that business is bringing to market. That's the mentality you have to change the way you're thinking, and just saying, I'm in the studio, I'm making records. I need to find someone else that knows the business and does it for me, because that's when you get screwed.
Exactly. And not everybody is entrepreneurial. So I don't mean to say everyone is going to be able to do this, but if you are somebody that has a really good sense of grind and you have some funding available or access to funding, or you have the ability to go out and find funding, this is absolutely 100% the way to go. Once you build that leverage, the labels are going to come to you more correctly. Once they have a larger investment in you, they're going to go harder for you. It's sort of like, Clinton, if I said to you, can I borrow $20 and you lent it to me and I couldn't pay you back, it probably wouldn't change your life. It may change how you feel about me, but it wouldn't change your life. If I came to you and said, Clinton, I need $1 million, and you gave me $1 million and I didn't pay you back, I'll bet you would find a way for us to make that $1 million back for you. You're going to get much more aggressive because you don't want to lose $1 million. $20, yeah, okay, whatever. I would take Wendy to lunch. It's $20. I'm not losing sleep over that. $1 million, you're getting your money back. And that's how major labels look at it. If they're going to invest $1 million into Clinton Records, they're going to get that money back. They're going to figure out a way to help Clinton Records get to the next level, whether it's giving him the know-how, or maybe they sign a new artist and they say, hey, Clinton, we just signed this guy over here. Would you be interested in putting him through your label? Whatever, they're going to help you get your money back. Right. And I really kind of like that, because that leverage enables you to get to the next level no matter what. So they're going to give you whatever you need and whatever you're missing to help you get to that level.
So speaking of getting your money back, that is a thing called recouping. Labels want to get their money back. They want to recoup every penny that they put into you or your label.
They do.
We're going to talk about that in the next video. What does recouping mean? But before we close out this video, just to recap, I'm an independent artist and I want to start my independent label. Let's just give them a checklist one more time. Start an LLC. Start a publishing company, find the way that you're going to distribute your music, and then sign up with a pro.
Yes, either ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, and make sure you sign up for Sound Exchange. They're all the ways that you collect money. So make sure, and you can Google it. Like you can actually go and Google all of this. Right. I've done a ton of videos for free. I've written a ton of articles about this, and you can rewind this and listen to this over again. Right. But sign up for all of the ways that you get paid, because you don't want to put music into the marketplace and not make the money. That's hustling.
I know so many people that have put records out and their music's not registered with a pro, which is a performance rights organization.
Isn't that crazy?
Publishing set up. Like there's literally money waiting for you somewhere.
Yes.
And you don't even know. It's just sitting there. And guess what? After a certain amount of time, I'm not sure what that time is, 7 years or something.
I think it's 3. I think it's 3 years.
3 years. If you don't collect it, who keeps it?
Yep.
So guys, you got to have bulletproof business. This is how you start your independent label, and these are the steps. So make sure you go and follow these steps and start your independent label, because that's where you're going to have your business right and how you're going to make more money. In the next video, we're going to talk about recouping. Get familiar.